If you were to improve, whether it's Quran, whether it's not eating sweets, whether it's your diet, whether it's exercise, whether it's emotional stuff, whatever, if you were to improve just by 1% every day, then you would very, very soon be very, very close to your goals. In reality, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. The systems are your habits. Your habits are the compound interest of self-improvement that you're trying to get 1% better every single day. That's why he's having us first think about habits and how we structure our day. And this is a very Islamic principle.
So I ran a marathon in June. I hit the goal of running this marathon and then I just quit. I quit my training. I didn't do long distance anymore. I just stopped. And this is the perfect example of hitting a goal but not having set a system. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how to create systems and not goals. I will be referencing 2 books that I've read, Atomic Habits by James Clear and also The 12-Week Year by Brian Moore. I will also infuse some Islamic concepts. James Clear says, a goal is a result you want to achieve. A system is a process that leads to those results. And here's the thing, when you focus only on the goal, you're constantly chasing the outcome. Once you get there, the habits often fall apart and you find yourself back at square one. But when you create a system, the habits themselves become the focus. The outcome, that's just a natural side effect. I can give you one of my examples. One of my big goals is to stay active daily. But instead of focusing on I need to lose X pounds or I have to train for 1.5 hours every day, I built a system. My system is simple. Move every day. Some days I do an intensive workout. Other days I stretch for 20 minutes or I just make sure I hit 5,000 to 10,000 steps. The habit is flexible but consistent. It fits into my life no matter how busy I get. And that's the power of systems. The Prophet, peace be upon him, also said, the most beloved deeds to Allah are those that are consistent even if they are small. Consistency, that's what systems are about. It's not about perfection because life happens, but about showing up every day in small ways. So now, how do you break down these goals? There's the 12-week year system. Here's the thing. Most of us procrastinate, the year starts, we are motivated, and then suddenly it's October and we are like, where did the time go? Brian Moran explains that most people spend 10 months procrastinating, 2 months scrambling. That's why in the 12-week year, he breaks the year into 4 quarters, 3 months each. This shortens the timeline and creates urgency. Here's what I will do. I'll start with my big goals, the ones on my vision board. I break these goals down into actionable steps. I create weekly and daily habits that align with those steps and I track them. Example, one of my goals for 2025 is eating healthier and saving money by avoiding takeout. But let's be real, when life gets hectic, I used to slack. I would go for fast meals full of additives, spend way too much money and feel tired and sluggish. What is my system now? Meal prep on Sundays, make nutritious meal the night before, and always have some backup snacks ready. Why? Because my body is a trust, emanate from Allah. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, your body has a right over you. I realized that if I nourish myself properly and move consistently, I actually perform better, whether it's work, studies, or ibadah. James Clear talks about Keystone Habits, which are habits that trigger other positive habits. Think of it like a domino effect. You knock over one and everything else falls into place. For me, waking up early is my Keystone Habit. When I wake up early, I have time for my Fajr and Tahajjud prayers and other worship. I eat proper breakfast, I read, reflect, plan my day, and have time for my deep focus session. Waking up early gives me a head start before the world wakes up. To make mornings even better, I added what I call morning glory, something I enjoy but rarely get time for during the day. That might be reading a chapter or a book, painting, or even watching an episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and makes waking up something I look forward to. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, O Allah, bless my ummah in its early hours. Early mornings are truly a blessing, and for me, they are the fountain of my entire system. If you're busy, and I know I am, habit stacking is your best friend. James Clear explains that habit stacking is when you attach a new habit to an existing one. You don't create more time, you just use it better. Examples, when I commute, I read a book or listen to a podcast. While cleaning or cooking, I listen to lectures or audiobooks, and when I brush my teeth, I do a small foot workout from my track practice. It's all about making use of those pockets of time to work on the habits that actually matter. James Clear says, True behavior change is identity change. Decide the type of person you want to be and prove it to yourself with small wins. It's not about saying, I want to read more. It's about saying, I'm a reader. The shift in identity is powerful because your habits flow from who you believe you are. Example, I want to take care of my health. But more importantly, I want to be the type of person who treats my body as a trust. So I prove that to myself by showing up for my habits, prepping meals, staying active, and resting when I need. These habits align with my values and my identity. Tracking progress, staying accountable. To stay consistent, I track my habits. I use both digital tools and a paper tracker because I love seeing those boxes ticked off. It's motivating. Brian Moran says that checking your progress regularly helps you confront the truth and stay accountable. He also explains that if you're hitting 85% of your weekly habits, you're on the path to success. Are all the goals that I've written down that I want to accomplish this year. And as you can see, I highlighted some in yellow. These are my priorities for Q1. So from January to March, I want to focus on these goals. Once I have picked them out, I will write down priority 1 and then whatever the goal is, and 4 to 5 strategies how I will get to this goal. These are also steps. You will then break them down into weekly tasks and then into daily tasks. I will give you an example of one of my goals. It's not my priority 1, but it's one of my goals. I want to read 52 books. That means I will have to read 12 to 14 books in 1 quarter of my choice. So the first step or strategy is to pick 12 to 14 books of my choice. Then to buy the first book and mark the pages. What do I mean by marking the pages? Here's one book. I already read the book, but I wanted to read the book again. And since I want to read a book in 1 week, I look how many pages the book have, and then I divide it by 7 and mark the number in the pages. So I know how much I have to read in 1 day. To the marks. What I also do is I write kind of notes on the side, margins, and I got a sticky note here because these are for reflections and summaries, because this will help me to write my book review at the end. Here's an example of how it looks like then. As you can see, my first step or strategy is to read in the morning, pages to read during commutes, and read in the evening. And then strategy 4, step 4, is to take notes and reflect after each mark, which you have seen. So my weekly task is to write a review of each book, and the daily task is to read to the designated mark and write down the summary or reflection. So this is what I have to do daily. This is what I have to do weekly, so I can actually achieve the goal of reading 4 books a month, 12 books in a quarter, and inshallah 48 to 52 books in 1 year. This is another one. I will not go into detail, but you can look at it, which is based on workout. Here are 6 strategies, something that you have to do weekly or daily. I like to go old school. That's why I have this daily habit tracker and weekly habit tracker. And if you open it, it's also a monthly habit tracker and a bi-weekly. These are the things that I have to do daily, monthly, weekly to accomplish my goal. Get closer to my goal. So it's basically what I just broke down. I updated this, which is this form, but I will not show it. So as you can see, these are all the daily habits that I should do. So as I mentioned, he talks about the controlling and effort point. Let's say that reading is my P1. So I have read 6 out of 7 days, which leads to 86% out of 100. How do you get to this number? So I got my calculator out. You just divide 6 by 7. Out of 7 days, I did 6. Then you get 86%. And you continue to do it with all your other goals and you will get a number. What you then will do is that you add all these numbers together and divide them by 400. By 400, you have 4 goals, 100, 200, 300, 400. And then you will get a number out, which is 87,5. And the target is to actually get over 85% for excellence, and also to see that you're on the right track of achieving your goals. As you can see, with the reading, I'm on the right track. With P3, I'm on the right track. With P2, what is going on? It's like 57% and that one 71%. So this is how you track your progress. You don't have to go this way, but I find it very helpful. A tip of mine, don't aim for perfection. Some days will be better than others, but consistency over time is what matters. Goals might get you started, but systems keep you going. When you focus on building small daily habits, you're not just achieving a goal, you're transforming your lifestyle and becoming the person you want to be. As James Clear says, making a choice that is 1% better seems insignificant, but over time, these choices determine the difference between who you are and who you could be. So to recap, focus on systems, not goals. Break your vision into actionable steps. Identify your keystone habits. Use habit stacking to maximize your time and track progress and stay accountable. Remember, Allah loves consistency, even if it's small. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, take up good deeds only as much as you are able, for the best deeds are those done regularly, even if they are few. So let's set systems for 2025 and work towards becoming the best version of ourselves, one habit at a time. What systems are you building this year? Share them with me in the comments. Jazakallah khair for coming this far, and see you in my next video, inshallah.